I've got a computer that does not play movies at all. It doesn't play videos. It used to when I first got it, but I've loaded it up with junk or something. I don't know. I've loaded it up with viruses and porn. Every time I see viruses, oh, that looks interesting. Click on it. What is this virus you speak of? And the computer just keeps getting slower and slower. I thought that was somewhat amusing. I don't know if the camera will find it remotely amusing, but I found it amusing. Inga came and she made this movie when she was in Portland. And when she left, it was like, oh my gosh, that was the most fantastic time in the world. And then she goes to Chicago, and I see the video she does there and the pictures, and it's like, I felt so stupid because here's Vincent and all these people, they look like they stepped out of a fashion magazine. I mean, they all look so beautiful, and they're wearing like leather coats. It had an effect on me.
Well, she didn't even make a video of Seattle. So.
Why does that water look so luminous?
It's right, yeah, it's right there. It must be the moon, babe.
Do you think it's the moon, Aaron? That light is, the water is all lit up.
It's special lighting.
I see.
Is it?
I see shadows on the water.
I think it's the moon. It's beautiful.
You know, you were asking me, what would you want to do if you came to Seattle? I can't think of anything I'd want to do. I've already done everything that I want to do. There might be lots of things to do that I don't know about.
Did you do the underground tour?
No, I didn't know about that.
Ooh, that sounds cool. I'd love to do that.
It's pretty fun. There's even a dirty version that you can take where they apparently tell you a lot of dirty stories, but I haven't done that yet.
But you've done the regular version.
I've done the regular version.
Well, then let's do the dirty one.
I know that this picture is not going to turn out, and yet I am compelled to take it.
Well, I don't know. The Space Needle helps a
The
lot.
Space Needle is really, I heard that they were talking about tearing it down.
Why would they tear it down?
That's what I thought. Why would they tear down the Space Needle? It's the most...
No, I mean, it came all the way from space.
That's right. It's the most iconic thing a city could ever have. And they would talk about tearing it down? It's like...
Where'd you hear that?
Behind? I don't know. I can't get
That's crazy. You're just trying to start a rumor.
That's right.
Space age.
Yeah, very space age.
Unintentionally.
I want to be trapped in this elevator with
You
Vincent.
look so creepy in this.
Here's Johnny. What is the name of that video game? It's a horror video game. Well, like Crazy People. Isn't that amazing? Look how long that is. They couldn't put that twice as far away. It's like, dum da dum dum. I can't reach it. Why did they put it up here? You know? Yeah. Once we made the reservations, I noticed it says, "We are a green hotel. We do not have air conditioning." Dabi is one of my earliest friends, and I don't know where that stupid name came from, Dabi, when his name is Gus Sanchez. And all of a sudden, two people popped into the horizon. One was H, and one was Tessie, the smoking baby. How would I ever in a million years get them to comment on my blog? Because I thought if I could get them to comment on my blog, I could die a happy person.
And you knew you were going to die.
And I know, yeah, I mean, everybody's going to die. I sent that message to Gus, and he gave me a bunch of ways that I could possibly do it, none of which made any sense at all to me. And they both eventually did comment on my blog, and now I can die happy. H became Heather Dorn, and Tessie became, what is her name? The Canadian... She's called the Canadian Swan. All of her friends refer to her as the Canadian Swan. I can't think of her name, I'm sorry. If you grow up in New York City, you're miles ahead of anybody else, especially people like me that grew up in the country. Do you remember when he posted a picture of her with his hands over her boobs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody remembers that. Somebody even, do you remember the guy that photoshopped in her actual boobs? He erased his hands and put the actual boobs in?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
That was me. No,
No wonder I knew nothing about it.
I'm making that up. Don't show that. All you shin lovers out there, from Gus, this is what he thinks of you. He has this thing about his precious. He always talks about my precious. I love my precious. I'm not sure what his precious is. I've had 2 drinks. I'm a lightweight. What I picture right now is like you're scanning me. It's like a green line is going down my face. You know, with lines like that. Is scanning me, your 3D image. So you can recreate my head for some kind of nefarious purpose. Hey, Lydia, she said, do you read Troy's blogs? Yeah, of course I read Troy's blogs. They're disgusting. They're always about old food that has been, old food that's beyond the expiration date, old barns that are decaying, and why Obama is not doing a good job. All of his blogs are about those 3 things. I could keep going. I could go all night. Hello, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Bill Gates, Paul Allen. Those are objective things. What else? They've got that huge port. They've got the interconnection of Seattle and China. They've got the Space Needle. Who else has got a Space Needle?
Look, just because you find some needle in space doesn't mean anything.
Some people find a needle in a haystack. They found a needle in space, which is much harder to do because space is much bigger. Everybody knows this. It's commonly known. But really, what else is ahead of Seattle? What city could possibly be ahead of Seattle? New Orleans? I doubt it. Dallas? Just because a president is assassinated there doesn't mean it's a good city. Let's see, what else? What other city? I can't think of another city. Baltimore? No. Just because the waitress is from Baltimore, we're not going to say that. Memphis? San Francisco? San Francisco ahead of Seattle, and this is why. People compare Seattle to San Francisco, not vice versa. I know you're going to erase this. I know. As soon as you get home, you're going to rewind and erase this. You're going to go back home and you're going to go, what the hell was I thinking recording that? That is so boring. I've done it myself a million times, so I won't feel anything bad about it. So yeah, San Francisco, then Seattle. I'll tell you what's crazy for size to importance ratio, Wasilla. People are going, Sarah Palin, she's an idiot, and yet that idiot is pointing her finger at candidates. I want that one, and that one gets elected. I want that one, and yet at the same time, people are going, she's a moron. Who's got the last laugh there? I hate to say it. Suddenly I'm feeling a whole downer thing about it's not funny anymore. Suddenly Sarah Palin is not funny anymore. She's like 9/11 from Alaska. Oh, I've had way too much to drink. Turn off that goddamn I would say take lots of pictures of yourself. If I was going to give some concrete advice that I knew would be good, because I think of my own life choices, very poor, except for taking pictures, and I always look back at the pictures I've taken of myself and those that I love and those around me, and I'm always very happy that I've taken them. What happened with MySpace and why did it disappear? I mean, the whole Haight-Ashbury thing in the 60s came and everybody was excited and then it disappeared. And then the 90s came and suddenly there was Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Stone Temple Pilots and all that, and we were all excited and the internet happened and then it disappeared and it became blah. And then MySpace came and there was a blogging culture that it came about and it changed people's lives in some marginal way, I don't know how. And then it disappeared. I'm going to give Vincent Truman a kiss on the cheek. I hope that when I see this in the future, I will have done that and he will have let me do that. It's really embarrassing. I gave a guy a kiss on the cheek this last weekend and he turned just as I did it and I gave him a kiss on the lips. I didn't mean to, and it was a little embarrassing, but you know, I hope that doesn't happen with me and Vincent. I went to a friend. I go to he's got a little food cart where he sells vegetarian fare. It's excellent. It's on 50th and Division if you're ever in Portland. He's got this big jar with money for tips. It says tips. I reach in my wallet and I throw a couple of ones in. Well, right as I throw them in, I realize there's a 20 right in between the ones. It goes into the tip jar. So now I've got to reach into the tip jar and pull out this 20. And suddenly he looks over and he goes, "Oh, stealing money out of my tip jar." He's just joking, kind of half joking. I pull it out and I said, "Oh, I didn't realize there was a 20 in there." But then suddenly I have self-doubt, as everything I do in my life. Did I really put that 20 in there? I don't even know if I put it in there or if I just stole it out of there. And so then I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I go home and I'm just full of, what do I say to the guy? What do I do about this? I think I may have stolen $20, or maybe I didn't. Maybe it was in between the ones. I think it was in between the ones. I don't know. My son says, "Dad, come on, quit doubting yourself. It was in. Who's gonna put a 20 in a tip jar?" I don't know. It's eating me up, to tell the truth. I'll tell you something more embarrassing. It's true. Please, I'm begging you, please, do not forgive me.